Hi everyone, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Huffey and today is Friday. It's Friday, August 14th of 2026. Okay, I think I'm recording. All right, so today I was thinking about what to do my video on and I started looking through some of my books. First one I got out was What You Think of Me Is None of My Business. And didn't really see anything in there that inspired me. Then I got this book out, Boundaries. And I asked God, what am I supposed to be doing my video on? And he said, keep looking. And so I looked through this book and I found this that I had printed off at one time. And it's about bullying. It's about adult bullies. And I knew that this is what I was going to be talking about today. I have some adult bullies in my life, and you might too, and they are mean and nasty, and God tells us we don't have to spend time with them. And I'll give you some scripture on that. First, I want to read this. I don't know where I got it, but I'll share it anyway. Adult bullying is more common than you think. Bullying is an intentional and aggressive behavior that causes another person stress, duress, or anxiety. It is used to make a target feel inferior, to make them feel small, unimportant, and unloved. How wicked is that? So if you're feeling guilty that you're not being nice to so-and-so, remind yourself, all they're up to is wanting to make you feel inferior, to make you feel small and unimportant and unloved. Because when people are mean and nasty, you don't feel loved by them because they aren't loving you. They're hating you. Bullying gives the abuser a false sense of power and a temporary sense of superiority, a temporary feeling of superiority. So when they put you down, they feel all puffed up and I'm better than they are and la-di-da. Well, it's only temporary because deep inside they feel, who knows what they feel, but they've been damaged so bad that they feel like they have to put other people down in order to gain some sense of superiority. Yes, they are very, very damaged inside. So the bullying can include yelling, cursing, threats, and other forms of intimidation. Physical assaults, laughing at you, mocking you, name calling, giving orders, shaming, belittling, negative and hurtful comments and criticisms, ignoring, gossiping, false accusations, leaving others out on purpose, which is also called scapegoating. There are a lot of videos on YouTube about scapegoating, and I've been listening to them because I've had this going on for probably about 6 years. So leaving others out on purpose. They don't let you know information. They keep you from what they're up to because you see their demonic tactics and they're trying to hide it all from you. So they leave you out on purpose. Triangulating. And that means that there are 3 people in the triangle. So here's you, and then here's the bully, and then here's someone you care about. And the bully's going to the person you care about and saying mean things about you, trying to influence their viewpoint of you. Triangulating is nasty. It's really, really bad. Okay, they also act disrespectfully to you. They make someone cry. They minimize you and invalidate you. And they have no regard for how their cruel behaviors are affecting the other person. That is a huge, long list. I did not read through this before I'm reading it to you today. unbelievable, this whoever wrote this, how they articulate all the different ways of these evildoers. Yeah, okay, let me find my place. Okay. Bullies fail to deal with their own negative emotions and shortcomings and harbor a haughty sense of entitlement. I have heard this from one of the, I call them narcissists, the bullies, whatever you want to label them as. She will just say, well, they should have asked me about that. And I'm thinking, well, why would they ask you? But she thinks that she's superior, and she has this haughty sense of entitlement that I know better than anybody else, and I should have a say. I'm entitled to have a say about everything. The majority of adult bullies are closet abusers, meaning they bully and abuse targets where no one can see or hear. This is so true. Some people will have such a great viewpoint of the bully because they're not getting bullied by the bully. But it's not our job to convince other people that they're bullies. What our job is to stay away from the bullies. Yeah. Okay, the bullies often use threats of some sort to keep their victim from speaking up about the incident, and will often play the victim themselves. So true. If you try and expose the bully, and maybe that person you told about it goes back to the bully will go, oh, they're just so sick, and they're always after me, and then say, they put themselves in the role of the victim. Well, it's just all a ploy. The majority of adult bullies fall somewhere on the narcissistic spectrum. I had a whole video about this, that these narcissists have the spirit of Lucifer. So it's extreme jealousy, and because Lucifer was jealous of God. He wanted to be above God. No one's above God. So what did God do? He kicked Lucifer out of heaven. And he got renamed to Satan or the devil. Okay, now let's move on to what this does to, people that get bullied. Bullying causes victims stress, anxiety, nervousness, sleeplessness, and can lead to ruminating nightmares, reoccurring thoughts. You keep thinking about, oh, they said this, and then you start to get influenced by their phrase and start to take on what they said about you, which is not the truth. So these reoccurring thoughts are not helpful. Some people have emotional breakdowns, panic or anxiety attacks, ulcers and stomach issues, diarrhea, shaking or trembling, inability to concentrate because your attention is taken off because you're ruminating about what that person said, and maybe what you should have said or wish you would have said, or what somebody else, you wish someone would have defended you who was there, or you wish you would have handled it different. All that just helps you, not helps you, but it wrecks your concentration. Can cause depression and suicide, headaches, avoidance, changes in eating patterns, PTSD, and many other health-related issues. Okay, that was a lot, and it's churning up a lot of emotion in me because I've had plenty of that in my life, of all of that bullying crap. Now, I want to talk about 3 Bible verses because some of us who want to be nice think we have to be nice to everybody. Well, you don't have to be rude. If you see the bully, say hi and get yourself out of that situation. Get yourself moving on. You don't have to be cruel, but get yourself out of the situation. Don't do all these shoulding things to yourself. Oh, I should have stayed and talked longer. Oh, I shouldn't have, walked out after I just said hi. And don't do all that to yourself, because it says right here in the Bible how we are to handle these people. And so the first Bible verse is in Proverbs 24:1. It says, "Do not be envious against evil men, nor desire to be with them. For their heart studies destruction, and their lips talk of mischief. Yeah, their lips talk of mischief, because if they're triangulating, they're going to someone you care about and they're talking bad about you. So their lips talk of mischief. And their heart studies destruction. They're making plans to put you down, to annihilate your self-esteem, to wreck your confidence. They don't want you looking good, because if you look better than they do, then they feel worse. It triggers off all of their insecurities inside. So they have to keep putting other people down in order to feel superior. Oh, wow. Okay, the second Bible verse is Psalm 26:5. Okay. I have hated the congregation of evildoers and will not sit with the wicked. This is David speaking. It's the Psalm of David. He said, I'm not going to sit with the wicked. You don't have to sit with the wicked. Don't let anybody convince you or tell you that you have to sit with the mean, evil, wicked people. You don't. Give yourself permission to have good people in your life and stay away from the evildoers. Okay, one more, and this is 1 Corinthians 15:33. This video is going to be long. There's a lot to talk about with this. Okay, it says, do not be deceived. Bad company corrupts good morals. So if you're hanging around with bad company, the likelihood of you changing them is slim to none. What is more likely to happen, and it says it right here, you're going to get your morals corrupted. Oh yes, I've been there and done that, had my morals corrupted, went along with the group, went along with the crowd, went along with the so-called friend, just got into trouble. So, remember, bad company corrupts good morals. Lastly, I want to share what God said to me, because I was like, God, what do you say about this? And he said, stay away from the evil ones. They'll play with you like a cat plays with a mouse. They have no regard for you whatsoever. They simply can't be bothered to care. Their motives are infiltrated with evil intentions to knock you down, which very sickly makes them feel superior. Be warned, stay away from evildoers. Oh my goodness. This is such a powerful directive from God. Stay away from the evildoers. I did not even read this until I got on this video. And God is just pointing out stuff that this person said in this about bullies. He says the bullies' motives are infiltrated with evil intentions to knock you down, which very sickly makes them feel superior. That's exactly what was said in this. Unbelievable. Now, God says they'll play with you like a cat plays with the mouse. When I was first married, when I was 20, we lived in a summer house. It really wasn't meant to be a year-round house, but it was an older house, and there were mice. There were a lot of mice, and we had a cat, and the cat would wake us up because in the middle of the night she would have caught a mouse and she would let it loose, and then she'd pounce on it again, and then she'd bat it around. And this is, I know, it's terrible. It was terrible. We only lived there for about 3 years, but we had a chalkboard and we marked off how many mice we killed. But anyway, my point is that God is saying they'll play with you like a cat plays with the mouse, and he knows that I've seen that in my past. And so the cat is eventually going to kill the mouse. And really, the bullies want to beat you down so bad. They want to just annihilate and kill your spirit. They really do, because what's driving them? The spirit of Lucifer. He wants to steal, kill, and destroy every one of us. They have no regard for you whatsoever. Remember this. When They're trying to be nice to you and suck you back into the relationship because they need to pound you down again to feel superior. Remember, they have no regard for you whatsoever. God says it right here. They simply can't be bothered to care. They can't be bothered to care about you because their drive to feel superior is so strong. That pattern is so incredibly strong that caring about others can't enter their consciousness. It can't. It can't enter their awareness. Wow. I am fired up about this topic because I've had plenty of bullies and narcissists in my life, and today I guard myself from them. I don't associate with them. It took me a long time to get here, but yes, I have more peace of mind about this whole thing, just being reassured, verses out of the Bible, that we don't have to stay involved with these bullies, these adult bullies. Okay, I think that's everything for today. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you.